Welcome everyone, my name is Nick, also known as the IPP guy, and this is the IPP Education Hub. If you are wondering, will an IPP make me bigger, then you've come to the right place. Because whether you're somebody that is considering the IPP implant for yourself, or maybe you're partnering somebody who's going through their own IPP journey, I want to provide a judgment-free place that you can ask questions and get the information that you seek. Now, if you're wondering if the IPP will make you any bigger or larger, the short answer is it won't. However, the good news about the IPP is that for many men who are struggling with erectile dysfunction, over time, the inability to achieve a fully natural erection will result in you losing size over the time of your life. Now, the great thing about the IPP is that it is designed to help people regain that natural size that they may otherwise not be able to achieve anymore due to whatever's going on with their body. So for example, if you've had ED for a couple of years and you've noticed that your penis has physically gotten smaller by appearance, after getting an IPP, it is very likely that you will notice that you are able to re-achieve the size that you were and that you previously are familiar with. For myself, I was unable to achieve natural 100% full-on erections. Sometimes it felt 90%, sometimes it felt 70%, sometimes it didn't feel that much. And so in those moments, I was unable to achieve my full natural size. However, upon getting the implant, I can now pump myself to a point of rigidity that truly maximizes that full natural size that I have and that I previously was unable to achieve. So while a lot of men are often wondering, will this make me larger? Will this make me bigger? That isn't necessarily the thought process when you're getting the implant. The implant will help you achieve your natural state, but if you're expecting something that maybe you see like in the adult entertainment industry, you're not going to be seeing quite like that. Then it's important to know that maybe that shouldn't be the expectation. This video probably isn't just about whether or not an IPP helps you achieve a certain size, but it's also a lesson to men to understand that size really isn't everything. What's more important is the physical and emotional connection that you're having with somebody and the ability to transcend that in your experience with them versus just wondering whether or not your anatomy is at a size that you feel is large or not. And so I'll further that by saying that anybody who is struggling with being unable to achieve a natural erection, I can speak for myself in that knowing that there was a treatment that would allow me to achieve that erection, that was the priority. It wasn't necessarily about size or girth or what any of that looked like. It was just being able to have a rigid enough erection to where I could achieve and enjoy penetration sex, which is exactly what the IPP will help you do. And so I get it. I have heard many times over men asking, what does it do to my size? Does it do anything different? Does it make me bigger? And at the end of the day, I think the lesson is to recognize that it will not make you any larger than you naturally are. However, it will allow you to regain and sustain your natural length, size, and girth. All important factors. And the most important factor is if you're somebody who has not been able to have proper intimate experiences and that is holding you back, then at the end of the day, size isn't going to matter. It's going to come down to functionality and ability. So when it comes to an IPP implant, you will have functionality, you will have ability, which for myself and many men I've spoken with, that in itself is reassuring enough. Now, if you just happen to regain your size that you once were at, that you haven't had for a couple of years, and maybe that's a surprise to you, that's great too. So if you've come here today seeking out more information on the inflatable penile prosthesis and whether or not an IPP can make you any larger than you already are, I hope that this video has answered that question. Now, I hope that you don't feel disappointed in the answer, but instead I hope you recognize that having an IPP allows you to have a fully functioning penis. And if you're somebody who hasn't had that, then that alone will be enough of a reason for you to be satisfied with the outcome of your procedure. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to this channel and turn on those notifications so that you are in the loop every single time I release a video here on the IPP Education Hub. As always, thank you so much for watching, and remember, be kind to yourself and be kind to others.